All right, everyone, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive. Today, we're going to be jumping into the world of ancient Israel, specifically 1 Samuel chapter 12.
Oh, this is a good one. Lots to unpack
Yeah,
here.
it's a turning point in their history, right? They're shifting from like this direct rule by God, a theocracy.
Which is pretty wild when you think about it. I mean, God is basically the ultimate authority.
Like imagine if a country's constitution was like literally a sacred text.
Mm.
It's not just about a king following the rules. It's about God being the CEO, making all the decisions.
Exactly. And now they're switching it up, going for a human king. It's a huge change.
Huge. And we're right there in the thick of it. So the people have chosen Saul. He's their first king. And Samuel, their longtime leader, is giving this farewell address. And it's not your typical thanks for the memories speech. I mean, he starts by asking the people to call him out right there if he's ever wronged them.
He's really laying it all out there.
Totally. It's like he's saying, look, I've been honest, I've been fair, but kings, you never know what you're going to get.
Oh, yeah, there's definitely a warning there. He's contrasting his leadership with what a human king could be like, and it's not subtle.
Not at all. And then he goes into this whole history lesson, reminding them of all the times God rescued them.
Even when they were messing up big time.
Oh, yeah, even when they totally strayed. It's a reminder that God's been faithful no matter what.
And that their allegiance ultimately still belongs to God. It's a powerful message, especially in this moment of transition. They might have a king now, but that doesn't change who they ultimately answer to.
Right. It's like you can have a new boss, but there's still a CEO calling the shots.
Yeah, good analogy.
And then he drops this, like, truth bomb on them. He's like, listen, having a king doesn't change the fact that you got to obey God.
It's not optional, he says.
Nope. Following God's commands, still non-negotiable.
And you know, that's where it gets really interesting for us today, too. Think about it. He's connecting obedience to blessing, to success. He's saying if you want things to go well, you have to live by a higher moral code.
It's something we can all apply, right? Whether we're leading a team, running a business, or just trying to make good choices in our lives.
Exactly. It's about aligning your actions with something bigger than yourself, some set of principles or values that guide you.
Okay, so he's made his point, but then he does something pretty dramatic. He calls on God to send a thunderstorm during the wheat harvest.
Oh, wow. Now that's a statement.
Right. Not exactly ideal timing for a storm.
Definitely not. It would be devastating for the crops. And remember, this is a time and place where that could mean famine.
So you can imagine that people are freaking out, right? Maybe second-guessing this whole king thing.
I would be. Talk about a powerful sign. It really drives home the point that there are consequences for ignoring God's will.
Totally. But then Samuel does something really interesting. He reassures them. He's like, look, it's not too late. You can still choose to follow God.
He's offering them hope, a way back. It's never too late to change course, to realign ourselves with what truly matters.
It's a powerful message. And I think what strikes me is that he doesn't just walk away after the storm. He tells them he'll continue to pray for them, teach them. He's committed to them, even though they've chosen a different leader.
That's real mentorship right there. It's not about holding on to power. It's about empowering others, even when they make decisions you might not agree with. It's a beautiful example of what it means to lead with love and compassion. It's inspiring, right, to see that kind of commitment, that unwavering care for the people he's leading.
It really is. And, you know, what strikes me is that this whole exchange goes beyond just a political transition. It's about something deeper.
Oh, absolutely. It's about values, about choosing to live in a way that aligns with a higher purpose.
Exactly. Samuel is reminding them and us that true success isn't just about power or possessions. It's about living in accordance with those timeless principles of justice and righteousness.
And that's a message that resonates just as strongly today, don't you think?
Oh, totally. In a world that often feels so focused on, like, individual gain and instant gratification, it's a powerful reminder to look beyond ourselves.
To think about the impact of our actions on others, on the community, on the world around us.
It's about recognizing that we're all connected and that our choices have consequences that extend far beyond just ourselves.
It's about building a legacy that's rooted in something bigger than just our own ambitions.
And, you know, speaking of legacy, it's interesting to think about how Samuel chooses to respond to this whole situation.
Yeah.
I mean, he could have easily just walked away, right?
Oh, for sure. He could have been bitter, resentful. I mean, they're essentially rejecting his leadership.
Yeah, but he doesn't. He rises above that, and he offers them guidance, support, even as he's stepping down.
That's true humility. It's putting the needs of others before your own ego.
And in doing so, he's leaving behind a legacy that's far more powerful than any position or title. He's teaching them, and us, what it means to lead with integrity and compassion.
And it makes you wonder, what would our world look like if more leaders embraced that kind of servant leadership?
If they put the well-being of their people, their communities, their planet ahead of their own personal gain.
It's a powerful question, and one that I think we all need to be asking ourselves, regardless of our position or role in society.
Because ultimately, we all have the capacity to lead, to inspire, to make a positive impact.
And it starts with choosing to align our actions with our values, with those timeless principles that Samuel so eloquently articulated all those centuries ago. It really is a challenge to live up to that, but it's something we can all strive for.
Absolutely. And it starts with, those small everyday choices. It's not always about grand gestures, right?
Right. It's about how we treat the people around us, the cashier at the store, the guy who cuts us off in traffic.
Exactly. It's about bringing those values of integrity and compassion into every interaction.
It's about choosing kindness, even when it's hard, even when we don't feel like it.
Because those little moments, they add up, they ripple outward.
Yeah, they really do. And, going back to Samuel, one thing that really strikes me is that he doesn't just talk the talk, he walks the walk.
Oh, yeah. He's not just giving speeches about righteousness. He's living it out, even when it's tough.
Exactly. And I think that's what makes his message so powerful. He's not just preaching, he's embodying those values.
And, when we think about leaving a legacy, it's not just about what we say, it's about what we do. It's about the impact we have on the world around us.
It's about the lives we touch, the people we inspire.
And it's about recognizing that we all have the power to make a difference, no matter how small it may seem.
Absolutely. Because every act of kindness, every moment of courage, every decision rooted in integrity, it contributes to something bigger.
It helps to create a world that's a little bit brighter, a little bit more just, a little bit more loving.
And that's a legacy worth striving for.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into 1 Samuel chapter 12, I hope you're leaving with a renewed sense of purpose, a deeper understanding of what it means to lead with integrity, and a commitment to writing your own story with courage and compassion.
Beautifully said. And remember, the journey doesn't end here. Keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep striving to live a life that reflects your deepest values.